in today's video I'll be showing you how we can write an Android app which will help us to communicate with Bluetooth model, which is called HC06. So this is the model which we will be using in this video. Actually, the app that we are going to develop is going to communicate with this Bluetooth model, and also by communicating with this Bluetooth model we are going to control this RGB LED connected to the Arduino. Now as you can see here, we have Arduino board and we have Bluetooth model. So before we go further, now actually there are a couple of things that I should talk about. So the very first thing that we have to do is just we have to get the MAC address of this Bluetooth device, because as we probably know, in order to communicate with this Bluetooth model we need to get the MAC address which is given by the manufacturer. So now the very first thing that we are gonna do is, now I'm gonna connect to this Bluetooth model with the help of mobile phone in order to get its MAC address. So now in order to get now firstly I'm gonna power up this model. Now as you can see, this Bluetooth model is functioning. Now this blinking LED can indicate that it's been powered up, and now I'm gonna connect my mobile phone to this Bluetooth device in order to get its MAC address. So we will be getting its MAC address with the help of Android Studio, and we will be getting all the list of paired devices, and among them we will find the device named HC06. So now here I've got mobile phone. Now I'm gonna turn on the Bluetooth, so in order to connect to this device. So now tap on this. Now as you can see, the Bluetooth name is HC06, and now normally we have password. Now it says the normal password is 1234. Sorry for the typo. Yep. Now this device has been connected to my mobile phone. Now right now I can get the address of this I can get the MAC address of this Bluetooth device using Android Studio by connecting my mobile phone. So I'll be showing everything thoroughly in upcoming steps. So guys, right now I'm gonna demonstrate real quick how this app is functioning and how this process is going on. So right now as you can see, we have Bluetooth module powered up and we have this RGB connected to the Arduino. And so here, this is my mobile phone, and now here as you can see, this is the app that we've just developed called the RGB Bluetooth. And now as you can see, we have Bluetooth powered up, but unfortunately this fast blinking LED can be the indication of disconnection, because right now our device is not connected to this Bluetooth model. So now let's start the connection process. I will start this app, and then if I start this app, now as you can see, the LED has just stopped blinking, meaning that it has just connected, and we've got this RGB. And then as you can see, so once you run this application you will have the interface just like this one. And now here we have red, and then if I change the intensity of the red, now as you can see it is just changing. So this is how you change the intensity of each color. This is the red, we are changing the red, and then we are just changing the green. As you can see, it's getting greener, now less green, more green. Okay, so just by moving this slider or maybe just the zig bar, we are just changing the intensity of this LED. And now we have the third remaining color, which is blue here in our case, as you can see. And then if I drag this, now as you can see it is just changing. I think I better put the phone something like this, and as you can see, and then if I drag this, as you can see, the brightness of the blue LED is changing. Yep, now there it is. And also you can have the different combination of the colors, like you can change the color of the green to make it more greener, and also you can add a little bit red something like so. This is how this application works, and after developing this application you will have interface just like this one. And also, as I said, I will be providing full code, as well as Arduino code, as well as the code of the Android Studio. So hello guys, now let's continue with the coding part. So actually, as I mentioned earlier, now we will be working in the Android Studio. Actually, I have written all the code well in advance, because just writing this code could have been really time consuming. That's why I really wanted to avoid to make this video very lengthy. That's why I wrote all the code well in advance. But having said that, I'll be explaining every snippet of code one by one. So now, if you're ready, let's jump right into it. So here, since we are using the Bluetooth in our application, I have given permissions in the manifest file. So these are the 4 permissions that I have granted to my Android application in order to be able to communicate with the Bluetooth with Bluetooth device, with the help of Bluetooth communication. So these are the 4 permissions that I've just given. And don't worry, I'll be providing this manifest file as well as the full project in the GitHub repository in the description box below, so that you can download the project as well as all the code, as well as all the schematics, circuit, electrical circuit, and everything. So this is the manifest file, and now we are going to close this window. So this is the user interface, as you can see. And now let me introduce or just let me take you through what we have here. So actually, this is a text view, and now this is a text view whose ID is text view just txt red, and then this is zig bar. We are using the zig bar in order to change the level of the Android application, in order to change the level of the each color. So here we have the zig bar for the red, and as you can see it's red, and then we have this another text view called the txt green. This is ID. And then in this Android application, I'm using the constraint layout, and actually it depends on you, and also it's up to you what kind of layout you can use. Actually, it is, just feel free to use any layout that you want. And then here, this is the first zig bar that we will be using in order to change the color of the red LED. And then here we have another text view which is green, which will be displaying here. And then we have this another zig bar here. So we have another zig bar, yep, and then it is for the green color. And then we have another text view for the blue color, and then another zig bar. So this is the basic layout, and also you can modify the layout in the way you want, no problem. And then we can move on to the main activity file. So here, what we are going to do, so we have a couple of imports here. Don't worry, you will be getting full file, you will be getting full project. And then so that you can modify, you can just tweak the code as much as you want, just depending on your preference. And then here we have this MAC address. In order to be able to communicate with the Bluetooth device, we need to get the MAC address of the Bluetooth device. But unlike any other devices like Wi-Fi, where we will be using the IP address, here whenever we are communicating with the Bluetooth device, we will be using MAC address instead of IP address. So this is the UI ID, W and ID, and I will be explaining what it is later on. So here we are declaring 3 public variables. Int, the red, and red will be used to store the value of the red color, and then green will be used to store the value of green color, and then blue will be used to store the value of the blue color. And here we have just the UI components, just the user interface components, UI components. We have text view, we have 3 text views. Now, as you can see, these are the 3 text views, because I want to change the values of these text views depending on the progress of the zig bars. That's why I have just declared this. I gave them IDs so that we can have access to them in the main activity.java file. And now after that one, we have this zig bar. So as you can see, zig bar, we have 3 zig bars in order to communicate, in order to change the intensity of the colors, the 3 different colors. And after that, we need Bluetooth adapter, and we have Bluetooth device, Bluetooth socket, and output stream. So we will be printing, or we will be sending bytes to the device with output stream, and then we will be establishing communication with the help of Bluetooth socket. So now, if you're ready, now we can continue. So, and in the onCreate method, we are initializing all the components here, as you can see. We have initialized 3 text views first, and then we have initialized 3 zig bars, and then we have to give the permission. Since the Android SDK 31 Now all the Android applications using the Bluetooth requires the user permission in order to use the Bluetooth, because if you grant the Bluetooth access to any application or maybe just any device, sometimes Bluetooth can be a serious threat to your mobile phone. That's why after the Android SDK 31, it's been enabled, or just Bluetooth permission has been enabled, so that the user can be aware of what they are doing. And this is the permission. And after that one, what we are doing here is we are just initializing the Bluetooth adapter. So as you can see, we have declared this Bluetooth adapter here above, and now we are just instantiating this Bluetooth adapter. And then in the here we are using the set in order to store all the name of the Bluetooth devices. So before you go further, first you should connect to the Bluetooth model that you're communicating. And now in my case, the Bluetooth model that I'm using is HC06. Now as you can see, it's also mentioned here. And then I will be getting its MAC address. So here, once you get the default adapter, you can get all the pair devices. And here, as you can see, get bonded devices returns to all the pair devices that you previously connected. The first thing that you need to do is just before you dive into the coding, as I showed you in the first part of the video, you should establish Bluetooth communication between your mobile phone and the Bluetooth model that you will be using, so that you can get the MAC address of it. Okay, and now after that, now we are just looping through all the devices in the pair devices, and then we will be printing the name as well as the MAC address of the device. So as you can see, I have got a virtual Android virtual device, as well as my mobile phone is connected to this Android Studio. And now if I run this application, okay, so now as you can see, I'm just running this application on my mobile phone. And then if I run this application, so you will be getting here you can see that I've got a device connected, name HC06, and then its MAC address is 0 colon and like double two, and then since the name is equal to HC06, I'm getting its MAC address here, because that's the thing which we will be using in order to establish communication between the Bluetooth model as well and the Android application. So, and then there's here another device which I have connected previously, and this is the wireless headphone, but we will not be needing this one. And also, as you can see, the Android Studio is just displaying its MAC address as well, but we are not right now, we are not concerned with this part. What we really need is just MAC address. And here, as you can see, I'm saying, so system out println name, and here we have name HC, and then this device name returns this HC06, and then this MAC address returns this, the device get address returns the MAC address of the device. And then here we have MAC address, and then as you can see, if the device name, if the name of the device equals to HC06, because that's the model we will be working with, I'm getting its MAC address here, and now I'm printing just its MAC address. Yeah, this is the MAC address that we are using it. As you can see, this is the same as this MAC address. And after that one, after getting the MAC address, now what I'm doing, so here we have the variable called MAC address, so which was declared about here. Yeah, we have this MAC address, and now I am just assigning the device MAC address to this MAC address variable, which we will be using later on. And then I think I can close this right now. And down here, after getting the MAC address, after giving the permission, I am just declaring Bluetooth adapter one more time. Instantiating this Bluetooth adapter one more time, and then I am just declaring new Bluetooth device, and then I'm connecting to this Bluetooth device with the help of the MAC address which I got. And then now we are just connected to the Bluetooth device in the separate thread. So this is, as you can see, you must be familiar with the multi-threading already in Java. So this is a new thread. We are just using this thread. The reason why we are doing is that whenever you are communicating or whenever you are working on the networking application, you should carry out all the connection process or sending data or receiving data in the background or in another separate thread, so that you can avoid the crash of your application. That's why you need to do so. So that's why in order to avoid our application from crashing, we are just establishing this communication in the separate thread. Now we have this public void run method we will be overriding, and now as you can see, we are just using this permission check one more time. So this was the permission check. The reason why we are doing is that if we do not use this permission check, we will not be able to use this Bluetooth device and any other remaining functions. So as you can, and also here we can comment this code, and if I comment this code, as you can see, now we are getting error. That's why now I should uncomment this code. And now here, after checking the permission, what we are doing here is we are establishing Bluetooth socket, and then here, as you can see, we are just assigning this Bluetooth device to the socket, and then here we are using this WID. So this is the standard WID, and also it can vary depending on what kind of Bluetooth model that you are using, and you can easily find this on the internet by typing the UID of the particular model that you are using. So there it is. Now we have successfully established just a second, and then here, yep, there it is. And then when we establish this, when we attach this Bluetooth socket to this device, we can cancel this discovery, meaning that we don't need to find or we don't need to get the IP address, or we don't need to find any other remaining devices, since we have already found the module that we will be needing. And then after that, we are just establishing connection, and then we're starting output stream. So now once once all of these processes are successful, and now we can print a message in the log D window here, in the log window connected to the AC06. And then now we are just running on the UI thread, since we are performing all of these actions in the background thread, or maybe in the networking, another separate thread. So we are printing this message in the toast message. So I hope you are already familiar with what's the toast message. So this is the toast message, and now this toast message is just printed in the user interface, or maybe you can say UI thread. That is why here we are using another thread. Here, this is the function. You can use this easily, run on UI thread. And now here, Bluetooth successfully connected. And after this one, maybe let's say if the process is not successful and we fail to connect to our Bluetooth device, we can say the message, and this is a log the log window, and then we can prompt the user to turn on the Bluetooth and restart the app again. So here we are also printing the same message here on the toast message. So whenever the Bluetooth is off, this means that this part of the code doesn't work, or just as execution of this part of the code can be unsuccessful. That's why this message can be printed on the toast message. And then after this one, once we establish the communication successfully, now we have the zig bar. So as I said, we have declared the 3 zig bars. Now red, as you can see, it's the red. And if you just dot, as you can see, we have set on zig bar change listener. And then if you press a new zig bar listener, and then if you hit, as you can see, we have now 3 methods here. 3 methods, and then actually right now we are not concerned with these remaining methods, so we will be working only with this very first method here, on progress changed. Now I think I can delete this safely. Yep. And now here what we are doing, so this function on progress changed, whenever I just drag this thumb, let's say, now let's try this application in the first in the virtual device. And then so I think it should work now. Oh, I think the Bluetooth is not on. That's why now Bluetooth is on, but I don't know. It's not working. Okay, I think this is not working because of my emulator. Because lately I have been having some problems with my Android virtual device. Okay, so we can run this application on the genuine app, on my mobile phone. And if I run this app, so as you can, it's installing the app right now, and then we're gonna wait for some time, I think, right now. Okay, now the application has just launched successfully, and here, oops, I think I cannot show the circuit. And then so here, what we are, let me explain what we are doing. Here on set bar change listener, here we have this progress changed, and then whenever the progress of the zig bar is changed, we are gonna get this int value, which is in the range from 0 to 100. And then yep, as you can see, we can change the value of this zig bar by just dragging this sum to the left or to the right. And when we do this, we will be getting changing int value and ranging from 0 to 100. And then we are doing simple math conversion here. We are just because whenever you are just converting the value of the RGB, you can give values starting from 0 to 255. That's why we are doing this simple conversion, and after that we are just printing the value of this integer, or I mean this changing value on the text view, which is text read, and then we have the send command, and then I will be explaining this send command later on. So the same here, and also we are also getting the value of this green color, and then we are also printing the value of this green zig bar change, the changing value of the zig bar in the text txt green and in the text view. And then we are also using the send command, and then finally we have this blue color. The same applies to this method as well. And then we have this send command, and then so here, if the output stream is not null, now as you can see here, we are using the output stream, and then if the output stream is not null, meaning that the connection has established successfully, or maybe if it's null, I mean meaning that the connection is not established successfully, in this case we are just gonna do nothing. And then after this one, we are gonna have stream command, which we will be which will store the value of the LED, as well as the which LED has been has changed value. So here we have if the LED index equals 1, meaning that if we are just using this method for the red LED, as you can see, we are gonna get this command, and then we are gonna change this int value to string, and then we are gonna get the full command, something like R. Let's say maybe the intensity of the LED is just, let's say, 230, and also it can be like R maybe 20. So this is the full command that we will be getting. And then if the LED index equals to equal to 2, meaning that if this is like green and then 200, maybe let's say, meaning that we are sending command, we are just sending adjusting command for this green, this green LED, and we are just setting its intensity to 200, and we are gonna delete this. And here we have this LED 3, which is blue, and then this is gonna be full command. We are just getting the value, and after this one, we are just getting this. We are just adding this end of the line character to the full string command. So I'll be explaining why we are doing this. And after that, we are just using the output stream. Here in the output stream, we are just writing the command in bytes, and then we are just printing the command which we are sending in the log window. So this is the log window. I think you must be familiar with. You have log cut, and then after this one we have this on destroy. So the we can, this on destroy method is used whenever we close our application. So here when the Bluetooth socket is not null, meaning that whenever the Bluetooth socket is not being used, we need to just close the socket so that we avoid further problems. So yep, and then afterwards, now I'll be explaining this end line. So here here is the code now. So here is the code which I wrote for the Arduino part. Now as you can see, we are just reading the values from the serial, and then we are just getting all the characters, and then by adding all the characters here, we are making full command. And unless the end of the line, unless the last character is not equal, unless the last character is equal to the end character, meaning that we have reached the end of the line, we are gonna, till we reach the end of the line, we are gonna collect all the chars, making the full command. And once we reach the end of the line, we are gonna use this full command. As you can see, we are just gonna print the full command, and then afterwards we are just using set color method, which I have written below here, as you can see, and I will be explaining this full code as well. So this is the reason why we added this end of the the end of the line character. So this is the basic code. And then whenever we just change the color here, as you can see, whenever we are using this send command method, we are using this we are just give LED index is 1, meaning that we are sending red. So here, as you can see, if the LED index is 1, we are sending red, and then if the LED index is 2, we are sending green, and if the LED index is 3, we are sending blue. So here in this code, as you can see, we are using this command for the one red LED, and we are just getting this red variable, and here we are just making simple conversion, as you can see, as I said, because we are making this simple mathematical conversion in order to get the numbers ranging in the range of 0 and 255. So you must be familiar with these variables which I have mentioned above. As you can see, we have 3 variables storing the value of the intensity of 3 different LEDs. Now, so that's it. And then if we are using the send command method for the this green zig bar, we are assigning to, meaning that we are sending green command. I mean, we are just sending the intensity of the green LED. And whenever we are using this command, send command, we are assigning the value of the 3, meaning that we are just using this send command for the blue LED. That's why the initial, as you can see, if it's equal to 3, the first, I mean the initial character of the command should be B, meaning that blue color, meaning that the intensity of the blue color should be changed. Now this is the full code, as you can see. So now if I connect this, right now I will be showing you full command, and then if I connect this Arduino, now I've just connected this Arduino, and if I open this, I'm gonna start this Android application. So yep, now if I open this window, so as you can see, this is run, and then if I run this application one more time, I think it's gonna take some time. Now we have just successfully connected our Bluetooth. Now we are getting MAC address, and now here we should be getting some messages. Okay, so I think we should get that message in the toast. Okay, no problem. And now we are just gonna open this window and then open the serial monitor, and then if I just change the value of this red, as you can see, I'm getting this red, and then if I change this green, as you can see, it's green, and if I change the intensity of the blue, as you can see, blue. So this is a full command that I'm getting, and now I think I can explain this code fully. So here we have I have declared 3 variables, and then this is the string command to store the value of the command which we are getting from the Android app, and then we are just declaring these pins as output pins, and then if we now here if we are checking if the serial is available, meaning that if we are getting any data from the Bluetooth, we are just getting all the characters from the Bluetooth, and then till we reach the end of the line, we are gonna merge all the characters in order to make the full command, and then once we reach the end of the line, we are gonna finish reading this chars, and then after that we have full command. We are gonna print the full command. So as you can see, as I said, this is the full command which we are getting. Now as you can see, this is the full command. Now as you can see, this is red, and if I change the green, as you can see, this is green, and then after that one we have full command. We are just setting the full command to 0 empty character, so that we will not, it will not miss. And now here we've got full command, and then depending on the full command, as you can see, if I set if the command of the char, the first character of this string, or the command or full command is equal to R, meaning that it's for the red. And as you can see, we are just changing the value of the red LED which we declared here to the command substring, means that we are just extracting all the remaining numbers. Let's say we have 3 and then something like R, and then we have this, and then we are just extracting all, we are only extracting these three numbers, not the R, and then we are just changing these 3 numbers to the int, and then this number will be the will define the intensity of the LED.
And then the same applies to any other conditions. So here, as you can see, we are checking this conditions thrice or maybe 3 times in order to make sure that we are getting the commands for the G, I mean green, and R means red, and then blue color. So this is it. So this is the full code that I have written for the establishment of the Bluetooth communication between Android app and the Bluetooth device. So if there is something which is not clear or which is unclear, just do let me know in the comment section. And also, as I said, I will be providing full code as well as Arduino code, this Arduino code, and then the code for the Android Studio in the GitHub repository so that you can download it, and if you want you can just tweak the code. So thank you so much for watching.